Hey guys, so I wanted to go over really quickly how I do my spreadsheet and then how I use that to create my certificates and letters that I send home with my kids for the art show. So the first thing that I do is I go into Excel and I create a spreadsheet of all of the students that I'm going to have in the art show and then their projects, media, etc. So that I have all of that information logged, and that's what's going to generate my labels, that will generate my letters and everything else, and I'll show you quickly how that's going to happen. So up here, these column names that you have are going to be very, very important in this process because that's how you're going to put all of these fields into your letter, into your labels, and anything else that you are going to create off of this list. So I have my students, their project in media. I also do my classroom in school just so that it helps me to stay organized, and it also helps me to remember what classroom I need to take the certificate or letter to when I am dropping things off. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go to Microsoft Word, and I have my certificate pulled up, and this is the one that I've used the past couple of years. So I always change out the student art, and then I actually have this little map here. So when I go and put things up in the library, I actually even check which area of the library my students' art is in so that they know right where to find it when they get there. When you get into your letter or certificate, whatever you want to put the students' names and locations and things into, the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to click on the mailings button. And we're going to click on the Select Recipients button. And to do this, I'm going to choose to use an existing list because I've already created that database of my students' work. I'm going to select the document that I chose for this. And then I'm just going to click OK so that it can convert this over. It might take a couple of seconds for this to go through, but once it does, that box will go away. The next thing you need to do is just click on OK to open your workbook. Now, it doesn't look like anything has happened or changed yet, but what it has done is it has connected this Word document to that Excel spreadsheet that you already created. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to click on the field that we would like to be replaced with the students. For this one example, it's going to be their name. And then I'm going to click here on Insert Merge Field. And you can see that the names of those columns have now shown up here. So I'm going to click on Student. For the next one then, I'm going to select my project. And I'm actually going to do this one by hand because I just want to make sure that those spaces stay there around it. And I'm going to click on Project to add the student's project into the letter. So I have a text box that I've added at the bottom of my page, and the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go again to Mailings and Insert Merge Field, and then I'm just going to put the student and then a space, and then I'm going to just keep inserting these. So the project, the media, and so on. And then when I get done with these, I will be all finished with editing this one, and I will show you how we export it so that it actually pops that information into where you want it. So I'm going to make this just a little bit wider so that I can fit all of the information there, and we should be good to go. And actually, I'm going to leave that with just school. So the last thing that we need to do is we're going to click on Finish and Merge right here. And I always do edit individual documents because this will bring up one document with a lot of pages that will show you what it has filled in for each student. And I like to do this just so that I know that everything worked out okay, especially before printing them so that I don't waste a lot of paper. So I'm going to click on Edit Individual Documents. And you're going to see that it's generating a new copy of my document with all of that information filled in. And so in here you can see that it put in Christina's name there. It right here for the location, it didn't put in a location because in my spreadsheet I hadn't noted one yet. But it did say what her project is. So her animal watercolor kangaroo was selected. And then down here you can see that it shows all of her other information. So her name, her project, what media it was, her grade, her teacher, and her school. So now I would just send these to print, and then I have everything organized so that I can hand out their letters for the student. So that is an example of how you can use MailMerge to organize your stuff for the art show.